Hello, everyone. It is good to be with you since we are here together in social isolation. This is a quick video about how to create meetings in Teams and use the meetings recording function to either record lectures or record, say, class sessions if you're trying to hold live class sessions or something like it. It's also useful if you want students to record their teamwork. This is an excellent tool for students. Microsoft Teams is for students to collaborate with one another, anyone to collaborate with one another, but it's particularly useful for recording a meeting should they need to demonstrate that they're meeting for a class project, but also if someone is for whatever reason unable to join in a group meeting, you can have a record of what was done and said that's live, that's real time, so to speak. All right, so here's what you need to do in order to record a Teams meeting. So first, what I would encourage you to do is download the Teams app from your app platform. So that might be the Apple App Store or Google Play. And then go to the Faculty Hub or Staff Hub and log into your email. So the Faculty Hub obviously says email Office 365. The Student Hub just says email for some reason. And then log in using your standard login procedures. It'll drop you on Outlook, the Microsoft Office 365 email app. You want to go to the app launcher. Depending on your view, it's going to be the waffle icon up here or somewhere over there on the top right. Select the app's icon, that little grid or waffle, and go down to Teams. We're moving now from Teams or from Outlook to Teams online. Again, if you download the app, this is a great way to access it as well. It's just native right there. I'm actually recording right now. You can see in this video space. I've gone to my video space. This is where I produce a lot of recordings. I just created my own team. I'm the only member to make recordings like this one. Anytime you start a meeting in Teams, if other people are members of the team, so if you add students to a team, you create a team, they can just join right in right here. There's the button. There's also share links and like. You can schedule a meeting ahead of time, but let's get to the point. All you have to do to start a meeting is right here. Okay, so see that little button on the bottom of the new conversation or new post? So here, right, this is that new post space. You just go down here. That camera icon says meet now. It's starting a meeting. So you need to use the app. It says because I'm already recording, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'm going to go back to my app. Here we are in my app. I've just started a meeting, and what it's going to ask you to do when you start the meeting is to give it a name. It'll show up right here. It says give it a name, name the recording, and then you'll have a couple of options. So I'm going to show you this sort of toolbar line here. You'll see that if I'm recording, it's red. It also will have that warning to say, hey, everyone, you're being recorded if they're in the meeting. You have the amount of time that you've been recording. You can turn your camera on and off. You can mute your microphone on and off. It's a really good idea if you have lots of people in the meeting to have a few people mute their microphones, especially if they're not using an inline mic. Headphones, because if they're listening with their speakers, you might get a lot of feedback. So people who aren't speaking should, while they're not speaking, mute their microphones. That would be very useful. Here is the share button. Now, normally you'll see the screen with an arrow pointing up for share your screen. So when you're meeting, you can share your screen. Screen sharing will basically allow you to video record your screen while also allowing you to show share your screen while also showing you on camera in a small box in one of the lower corners of your screen. So by sharing a screen, you can pull up, for instance, PowerPoint and you record yourself talking about your PowerPoint at the same time. Great way to record a lecture. Also a great way to share things like PowerPoint slides or other resources with students if you're hosting a meeting, or with peers if you're hosting a meeting, your team members. So there's that screen share meeting. Now, this is very important. If you want to record your meeting for posterity, you have to take the next step. So if you want a record, not just a live meeting, you've got to do this thing. Go to the More Actions button. Open up your actions. You have lots of cool, things like meeting notes, where you can literally type in notes as the meeting is ongoing. You can enter the full screen, etc. You can blur your background if for whatever reason it's really busy. But here you go. You can turn off other people's incoming video, which helps if you're doing mostly kind of one-way monologuing. But right there, record. It'll say record meeting, right? Here, right now it says stop recording. But this is the key. Can't say this enough. Start your meeting. You name it, right? You initiate that meeting. You start meeting. It started up. You can share your screen. And then the next thing you must do if you want to record this, is find that little red dot to start recording. If that isn't showing up right here, you are not recording. And so you'll have a meeting that will move into the ephemera. Don't want that to happen, okay? So just again, record. I've had a couple of students who've tried this sort of thing to record team meetings. They forget to do this fact and end up with a record of a meeting, but no actual video evidence, so to speak. So that becomes particularly important. Your conversation is really where if you want to have a lot of people involved but don't want a lot of crosstalk, just opening up the chat or conversation here is a great way to keep notes. And what'll happen is you have a live record, right, of the chat. This chat will stay with the meeting event and record. So it's a good way to just take notes as you go in public, and you can do that right with rich text formatting. You can add attachments to those notes. A really wonderful way to provide a kind of resource connected to an actual recording, all in the same place. I also want to point out then, once you have, let's get rid of this. Once you have done a meeting, so I was helping my colleague Devika Banerjee see how you record these kinds of meetings. Once you've recorded it, you can see it. It will show up as a meeting in the thread, right, wherever you are, in the channel, wherever you are. It'll just show up as a meeting. Again, for this to show up as a record, you need to hit that recording button, and you can watch it right away. Just stream it by playing the video, clicking right on it. Or, more interestingly, you can open up More Options, those three little dots on it, and then you can get a share link. Right, you can share it externally. You can link to it within Teams or really anywhere else. You can make it a tab on your Teams if you're real savvy about this. But you can also open it in Microsoft Stream. Microsoft Stream is basically Office 365's internal YouTube. So here's the Devika intro video. And if you just go right down here, again, More Options. I know we're clicking through quite a lot. But right here, you can download the video. You can get I think it downloads as an MP4 file. You can also edit it a little bit if you want, but this is great, right? You can add a channel to your Teams, again, if you're a savvy user. But right here, download. So all I did was go to the meeting. So once you're done recording, once you stopped, that join button will go away, and what will happen here is the video will show up. Go to More Actions. Open, you can play it if you just want to leave it there. If you want the file itself, go to Microsoft Stream. It'll open right up. You won't have to log in. And then again, More Options here. Download the video. You've got the file, the video file that you've just produced available to you. So it'll be available in Teams. You can download the file, you can put it in Blackboard, you can put it on SharePoint or OneDrive, or TikTok, if you're one of the people who are actually doing that kind of thing. That's all you really need to know for starting a meeting in Teams that anyone can join. Once you create a meeting and schedule it in advance, anybody in your team will have access to it. You can also invite other people. And then if you are careful enough to, more actions, record, right? You'll have an indelible record of what you've done. So a record of your lecture if you just want to lecture, to yourself and record that, or of your class session, student group meeting, anything else. I hope you found this valuable. If you're not a colleague of mine or don't know who I am, again, I'm Brendan Kendall with Communication Studies. As I'm able, I'm happy to try to help you out. Best way to reach me right now would be by email or messaging me in Teams. Teams has a chat function. If you log into Microsoft Teams the way I showed you, click chat, search for BRENDEN, Brendan Kendall, KENDALL. You can message me in chat or email me at bkendal1@msudenver.edu. That's Bravo Kilo Echo November Delta Alpha Lima 1 at msudenver.edu. Wishing you the best. Take it easy on yourself, your students, your colleagues, your teachers in this stressful time ahead. Until later. Cheers.